It has finally happened. Nick Bosa has signed a record-breaking contract extension with the San Francisco 49ers. And as I told you, we were going to go live once the news broke, and here we are. You're watching the 49ers Report. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. There is so much to talk about as Bosa is officially the highest-paid non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Adam Schefter breaking the news under an hour ago at this point that Bosa and the San Francisco 49ers have agreed to a 5-year, $170 million contract extension. That includes $122.5 million in guaranteed money. And by a wide margin, he's not only the highest paid defensive end in the sport, he overtakes Aaron Donald's $31.5 million salary to become the highest paid defender of all time. That money checks out to $34 million per year for the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, who's only 25 years old and is just entering his prime. So much to unpack with this. Adam Schefter with some more information. The deal making Bosa highest paid defensive player in history by a wide margin. The holdout is over, and Bosa is likely to be ready to play for the Week 1 opener on Sunday in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. So let's get the comment section going. 411 people watching live, only 69 likes. Very nice, but continue as you pile in here to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Grade the signing of Bosa, A, B, C, D, or F. Is it too much? Is it too little? Was it too late in the process? This late in the game with the regular season coming up on Sunday? Let me know. I'm looking at the chat here. I'm seeing a lot of A's. Foodie the Critic is giving this contract an F. I disagree with that because the NFL salary cap is going to continue to rise, and this Bosa deal, if he's able to stay healthy and the production continues, it's going to end up being a solid deal for San Francisco. Eric Rude, B, Lavelle, A, Quest, A, Funky Nitro, B+. This is also the live poll in the chat, so make sure you go on down, get your votes in there. Do you like the Nick Bosa deal of $34 million per season? We have 400 votes and counting, 90% of the votes coming in as yes, 10% no. And as I look at the comment section, a lot of A's, a lot of B's. I can also see why people think that it's a little bit too lofty of a contract. We'll break that down in further detail here in just a few moments. Cody Broussard getting us started with the $5 super chat. Chase, you're the man for the nonstop updates. Now you and the faithful can rest easy and focused on that quest for 6. Look, I was about $10 million off with my Nick Bosa contract projection. We've been covering this story better than any other YouTube channel out there. So I do appreciate the support there. And this is why you subscribe to the show. Because when breaking news happens, we go live. And when something like this transpires and there's a big story that we have to cover, we're going to cover it every step of the way. Danny Smith Mathis, one of our Goldmine Hall of Fame members with the $10 super chat. This is the real deal, for real, and I'll be in the Berg. Go Niners. She was one of our Super Chat MVPs a couple of weeks ago in the preseason, and she did relay that information that she was going to be on hand for that Week 1 game against the Steelers. So in totality, the Bosa deal checks out to this. It's going to be a 5-year contract for the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Total money, $170 million. That checks out to an average annual value of $34 million per year. And the total guaranteed money for Bosa, $122.5 million. Aaron Donald previously was the highest paid defensive player and non-quarterback in the history of the game. That was a 3-year deal, and the average annual value was $31.6 million. Bosa and his camp, they were very stubborn in these negotiations because with Bosa being the younger player and better player right now than Aaron Donald, and I'll take an edge rusher over a defensive tackle any day, they get their wish here in becoming the highest paid defensive player and non-quarterback ever. So now you look at the highest paid edge rushers per year, Nick Bosa checks in at number 1. and he beats TJ Watt's number by $6 million. That's pretty considerable. He also beats out his brother Joey Bosa by about $7 million. And then the rest of that list, Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack, Max Crosby, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Cam Jordan, and then rounding out that list of the top 10 is Harold Landry at $17.5 million. For those of you coming in here for the first time, or those of you who haven't subscribed, this is why you hit that sub button. You can count on the 49ers Report to have you covered, keep you in the know, teach you about this team, teach you about the game of football, and whenever big-time breaking news happens, we're going to go live, we're going to push out a video. Let's continue to grow on that number trace of 84,750 plus subscribers. Let's get on that road to 85,000. If you want to add that number there, hit that sub button. This is the go-to spot for the faithful. A couple of super chats to get to. As all of you come in here, please make sure to support the show by hitting that thumbs up icon and liking the video. The more likes that we get, the more people who come in here, the crazier that the show will get, and we'll have a blast throughout the afternoon, and we'll stay live however long we have to stay live. LG is a first-time super chatter. Do you think that Nick Bosa drinks alone and gets wasted sometimes? I actually don't think Nick Bosa drinks all that much. I will say this about Bosa. He is said to be on a flight right now to California to join the team, and he is, according to Adam Schefter and Kyle Shanahan, expected to play Week 1 for San Francisco. VA Boy with the $5 super chat. He said, I'm not blank, but Nick Bosa is Nick Bosa. Hey, look, Nick Bosa's a good-looking cat, and he's a damn good football player. Niner Babe 75 with the $20 super chat. LFG, no more drama. Let's go to work. Bang, bang, Niner gang. And I think that the no more drama thing is real. I think it's really important, and that's been one of the things that I've continued to hit on. This has been an offseason that's been weird for a team that has great odds to win the Super Bowl, that is expected to have Super Bowl aspirations. And oftentimes, when you have a team this legit, that's had recent success, making it to 3 NFC Championship games in 4 years, you don't have this dark cloud over your organization. But you had that with the whole Trey Lance debacle and the Trey Lance trade. The kicker drama's been weird. The Nick Bosa holdout. Kicker problems, Kyle Shanahan getting snippy with the media. You don't have to worry about that any longer. No more distractions, which you never want for your business. Full focus ahead on the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're glad that Bosa is finally signed, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. The audience continues to grow. Let's get to 1,000 people watching live. We have 709 people hanging out with us already, and the official show hasn't even started. Only 198 likes. If you're glad that Bosa is finally signed, which ends a 44-day holdout, I want you to smash that thumbs up icon and like the video. We're already up to 240 likes and counting. And I'll say this, we're at $50 in super chats. Once we get to 100, and we just did from Night Shift Garage, this is a celebratory shotgun for Nick Bosa and the Niners finally coming to an agreement on this deal and getting this contract done. I'm Chase Sr. Alongside me is Trizzy Trace, the producer extraordinaire. Trizzy, we've been talking about it for so damn long.
It feels good,
and
man.
It's finally official.
It feels good. It feels good to finally have Bosa paid.
Night Shift Garage, $50 here, the real one, 21-17. Niners ready with you all season. How do we corral these receivers on Sunday? I'm really worried about one receiver. That's George Pickens. Outside of that, I'm not too worried about what Pittsburgh has to offer on the offensive side of the football. I do think that Kenny Pickett is going to be better this year, but we took a look during our preview earlier this week at some of the downfield throwing numbers. He does struggle in throwing and pushing the ball downfield. And that's why it's so important for Nick Bosa to be on the field, to provide a pass rush to force Kenny Pickett into making tough plays, tough throws, which could then lead to turnovers, which changes the complexion of a game. So George Pickens, going to have your hands full with him. He's 6'3", 210-plus pounds, 50-50 ball guy. And the Niners don't have a lot of tall cornerbacks outside of Charvarius Mooney Ward. But you get that pass rush home, and maybe Kenny Pickett doesn't even have enough time to throw the football downfield to George Pickens. Night Shift Garage, thanks for that. Celebratory shotgun for Nick Bosa and the San Francisco 49ers officially getting this deal done, which makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League.
Rip it, tip it, sip it, chug, 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 chug. Nice.
I've been waiting to do that for so damn long. San Francisco! Let's go. All right. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. We might have to do that. If you want to be a part of the show today as well, please make sure you use the hashtag 49ers or send in a super chat. Therefore, we will answer all of your questions. If we get another $50 super chat, producer Trizzy Trace will come on screen. He's down to do a beer bong because the party is getting underway because Nick Bosa is going to report to the Niners ASAP and is expected to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers for Week 1 as the Niners kick off this season on Sunday against the Steelers at Acrisure Stadium. So really excited to break this news down. I'm even more excited to have everybody here live on the San Francisco 49ers Report because this is absolutely awesome. As a content creator, these are the days that you really dream of, to have a big story like this break. And it's a story that we've been covering so much here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. And for it to finally come to fruition, it's a sense of relief for the fan base, and I think it's a sense of relief for this organization that has dealt with so much weird vibes and weird drama all throughout this offseason. But they can get rid of some of that drama, and they have gotten rid of some of that drama with Nick Bosa making this deal official as he becomes the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League. We're at $100 in Super Chats. If you want to send in a Super Chat, get those Super Chats in to show some love to the channel and, of course, support the show. It's the rectangular box with the $ through it. Once we get to $200, we're at $100 right now. I'm down to do another shotgun, and if we get another 50, Trizzy Trace is here. He's down to do a beer bong. What I want to do right now, we're not going to break this down in further detail until we get the 400 likes. We have 770 people watching live right now. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Let's get the 400 likes before we officially go into this in further detail. We'll take a look at all of the information. I'll pass along a lot of my thoughts as well. 400 likes is what we're shooting for. We're up to 322 right now with 770 people watching live. As you come in here, please make sure you support the show. Hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And look, if you're glad that Bosa is finally signed, show us. Speak it with your chest out. Hit that thumbs up icon and like the video.
Chase, I just did a survey here real quick. I was looking in the chat, and everyone who didn't like it is a closet Seahawks fan.
Oh no.
So if they haven't liked it, then they're not a Seahawks fan. If they want to prove they're a Niners fan, gotta hit the thumbs up icon. It's easy.
What you never want to be in life is a closet Seahawks fan. If you're ever a closet Seahawks fan, that is simply just not a good look whatsoever. So be a true faithful and hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. We're up to 385 likes. We're 15 away from 400, and then we'll officially start the show. We'll officially start the show here momentarily as Nick Bosa and the Niners have made history. It's the highest contract in the history of the organization, but the highest contract in the history of the San Francisco 49ers as well. All right, the official show is about to begin. Those were just some of my thoughts. I have so much to get to. We're also going to be doing a mailbag, as all of you will be able to react to this as well. Use hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to be a part of the show. Start to get those questions in right now, and if you send in a Super Chat, we're guaranteed to answer those as well. The official show begins. Let's talk about this Nick Bosa contract extension right now, live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. It's the news we've been wanting to talk about for weeks. Breaking news here on the San Francisco 49ers Report as Nick Bosa and the Niners have officially come to an agreement on a record-setting and historic contract extension, which makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League. This is the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for being here with us. And if you want Niners content every single day, hit that subscribe button. Adam Schefter breaking the news this afternoon on Wednesday that Nick Bosa has agreed to a 5-year deal. In total, it is going to be worth $170 million. That does include $122.5 million in guaranteed money. And by a wide margin, it makes him the highest paid defensive player in the history of this great game. Adam Schefter with another follow-up that Bosa, with the season opener coming up on Sunday in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, is likely to be ready to play in that game, and hopefully San Francisco able to get off to a fast start. Kyle Shanahan also with an update on Bosa that will hit here in just a little while. First, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you can count on the 49ers Report to have you covered and provide you with the best analysis here on YouTube whenever breaking news happens. We went live right away. Let's get to 85,000 subscribers with this video. So you look at the Bosa contract in total, and I was off by about $10 million in my contract projection. I thought it was going to be a 5-year deal. I thought that Bosa was going to beat out Aaron Donald to become the highest paid defensive player in the history of the game, and he's able to get more years, get more total money at $170 million. The average annual value here for Bosa, $34 million, and the guaranteed money checks in at $122.5. I did see a report that the signing bonus is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $70 million, so Bosa gets the bag in a big way, and he's going to be sitting pretty for a really, really long time. So you compare Bosa's deal with that of Aaron Donald, which he signed a couple of years ago, and the reason that I thought that Bosa was going to get more and deserve more than Aaron Donald is because Bosa is 25 years old. He's coming off back-to-back seasons in which he has combined for 15.5 and 18.5 sacks. He's the younger and better player than Aaron Donald. And I'd rather have an edge rusher as compared to a defensive tackle when I build my football roster. The most important positions on a football team, quarterback, tackle, when I'm talking offensive tackle, not defensive tackle, and edge rusher, because you have to find that franchise guy. You want to be able to protect the quarterback and get after the quarterback. So that Donald deal of 3 years, which paid him $31.6 million, was great at the time, but it was also an old deal. And in the process, Nick Bosa is able to reset the market, which I imagine will last up until Micah Parsons gets his contract extension from most likely the Dallas Cowboys. My immediate reaction to this was that this is something that needed to get done. The San Francisco 49ers are a win-now team. They have made a bevy of win-now moves, but they're not a win-now team without the services of Nick Bosa. And I also thought it was really important for San Francisco to get this deal done, to get rid of some of the lingering awkwardness, the drama, and the dark cloud that's hovered over this franchise's head this entire offseason. And that's so rare to have all of that drama going into the season for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations and that's made it to 3 NFC championship games over the last 4 years. You had the Trey Lance drama in trade. You had Kyle Shanahan getting snippy with the media. You had this weird kicker situation. And back a few months ago, John Lynch had said time and time again, Nick Bosa is off the table for a trade, and we have Nick Bosa budgeted for. But this is a holdout that lasted 44 days. And if you're a win-now team that's looking to win the Super Bowl, you have to have the best defensive player on the field, and you can't afford to start a season slow once again in a packed NFC and play catch-up like you've done the last 2 years. Now, the other big question with this entire situation is this. Nick Bosa signs on Wednesday. This is the first official day that the Niners are undergoing their prep for the Pittsburgh Steelers in game week. Will he be ready and available to play on Sunday? According to Kyle Shanahan, according to Adam Schefter, the answer appears to be yes. Matt Mayoka, NBC Sports Bay Area, he's at the facility right now as Shanahan just addressed the media, and he asked Shanahan about the availability of Bosa. And Shanahan said, quote, he'd have to have a beer belly and be out of shape to not play. In other words, Nick Bosa is expected to rock the scarlet, red, and gold unis come Sunday at Acrisure Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh against the Steelers in Week 1. And this is a guy who we know, obviously, keeps himself in fantastic shape. And word is, everything that I've heard is that Bosa's in the best shape of his life, and he's ready for game action right now. I voiced some of my concerns about Bosa signing a little bit too late and being on a pitch count and maybe getting injured because nothing really replicates real live football. But now he has an opportunity to get on the practice field with his teammates and start that preparation for this game on Sunday. According to reports, Bosa, as of this recording on Wednesday afternoon, as we're live here on the show, is flying to California right now. He spends his off seasons in Florida. His agent is based in New York. He's expected to join the team as soon as possible to start that preparation. And there has been a recent example of a player signing late in the process, but then playing in week one. That most recent example was actually with the Niners' week one opponent in TJ Watt. He signed 48 hours before the season opener back in 2021, which at the time was a record-setting deal. It made him the highest-paid edge rusher in the history of the National Football League with an average annual value of $28 million. TJ Watt not only played in that season opener against the Buffalo Bills, he contributed 69 of 85 snaps and 2 sacks. Now, the difference in these situations is that TJ Watt had a hold in, whereas Nick Bosa had a hold out. What that means is that TJ Watt was with the team, whereas Bosa was not. But I expect Bosa to be on the field on Sunday, maybe on a little bit of a pitch count. But again, he can ramp up over these next couple of days before that trip to the East Coast to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at what Bosa's done the last 2 years. He's truly been a very remarkable player. And he's drafted out of Ohio State by San Francisco back in 2019. And as a rookie, for a team that went to the Super Bowl, he tallied 9 sacks that year. In 2020, suffers a season-ending torn ACL, and then he comes back in 2021. He was marvelous. I actually thought he should have been more in the running for Defensive Player of the Year in 2021 than he was at the time because he tallies 15.5 sacks, 32 quarterback hits, 21 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, and 52 tackles. And you look at the production on the left side of your screen, it's very hard to duplicate that type of production. Nick Bosa did that last year in 2022, and he was even better than in 2021. That's kind of unfathomable because he was so dominant. Led the NFL in sacks with 18.5, 48 quarterback hits, 19 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 51 tackles. With this record-setting deal, Bosa, nice little addition to the bank account, right? And now he becomes the highest-paid edge rusher in the history of the National Football League. And him and his agent, Brian Arrolt, they were very stubborn in these negotiations. They wanted 2 things. For Bosa to become the highest-paid edge rusher, which San Francisco was fine with. They were cool with giving him more than $28 million. But on the other side of that, that's not just what Bosa and his camp wanted. They wanted for this 25-year-old who's younger than Aaron Donald, better and more impactful than Aaron Donald, for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations to become the highest-paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. And by beating out TJ Watt by $6 million, that's a statement that Bosa and his agent can be proud of because their representation did a good job. And at the end of the day, I know we've criticized San Francisco for not getting this deal done. They deserve some type of credit here for getting this deal done right now, but also handing out the largest contract in the history of the league for a non-quarterback. And this is a team that has not shied away from spending big money. And that should also be noted as well. They've handed out this contract now to Nick Bosa. They traded for Christian McCaffrey, who's one of the highest paid running backs in the game. They paid Deebo Samuel. They paid Eric Armstead, Fred Warner. So they've handed out a bunch of cash. Trent Williams back a couple of years ago. And this is an organization that, once again, is pushing their poker chips to the middle of the table, and they're going all in. So if you're glad that Bosa is finally signed, ending this 44-day holdout, which seemed a lot longer than that. He hadn't been with the team since the spring, all the way back in OTAs. I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video if you're happy that this deal is finally signed. You look ahead at this game against Pittsburgh for week 1. I'm interested to see if this line changes now that the odds makers know that Bosa has signed. Because San Francisco, they've been hovering at that 2-point line, 2.5-point line as the favorites. The over-under, very low at 41. If you think that there are going to be points scored, go all in on the over here. And if you want to make a bet on this game, no better place to do it than with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, offering a 125% deposit bonus. Enter the link down below, chatsports.com/49bet, promo code Niners125 for that 125% deposit bonus. What that means is you put in $100, you get $125 back, $225 to game with for this upcoming NFL season. More on Bosa, and another reason why he deserves this contract here and why he has earned it and why this is so important for the Niners. It gets some much-needed good vibes going for this football team that desperately needed some good vibes moving forward. And for the 49ers, you have a quarterback on a rookie contract. Brock Purdy is making less than $1 million this year, and he's now under contract for the next 3 years. He wasn't drafted in the first round, so you don't have the benefit of that fifth-year option, having him under team control for a totality of 5 years. You have 3 years left to maximize Purdy being one of the most affordable and cheapest premium assets in the NFL if he continues this ascent and continues to play well, because he's making barely any money. So you have to take advantage of this window, and that's why I'd continue to say, you have to get this deal done. You have to pay Nick Bosa because you're paying all these big-time premium dollars to other players on the roster. Nick Bosa is the one who's the most important. And without Bosa, you're just not the same Super Bowl contending team. A lot of you out there are also panicking about the money on this deal. I understand it's a lot. $34 million will handicap you on the salary cap to a certain degree. There is no question about that. But even though you're panicking, the salary cap in the NFL is going to continue to rise because the popularity of this game is going to continue to increase. And next year, Micah Parsons might take down Nick Bosa, and he might overtake him as the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of this league. That's how fluid these things are in the NFL and in professional sports. When you look ahead for this organization here, 2024 contracts are going to have to be restructured. And I did see a tweet yesterday where if the Niners were to extend Dre Greenlaw and restructure the contracts of some of their players, they're going to be able to open anywhere between $20, $30, $40 million. So I also understand that a lot of you out there are probably worried that you can't extend a Brandon Ayuk. Financial gymnastics are pulled off by front offices literally all the time. And San Francisco's going to have to get creative with the cap so that they can afford to keep these players on the team. You might have to get rid of a Kyle Juszczyk or a George Kittle. That's the reality of the situation. But those are older players who are descending. Nick Bosa is younger, still ascending, and he's a very, very impact player. So grade the signing of Nick Bosa here, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you think of this deal down in the chat. And can we take a look at those Pro Football Focus numbers? Because this also goes to show you just how special of a player Bosa is. And it puts that 2022 in great perspective. An overall PFF grade of 90.9. A run defense grade of 81.1. So you can't tell me that Bosa is strictly an edge rusher. He's also really good against the run. Pass rush grade of 90.9, and what blows my mind about what Bosa did in 2022, 508 pass rush snaps, 30 quarterback hits, 90 total pressures. That's almost 1 in every 5 opportunities that Nick Bosa goes after the quarterback, he gets home for a pressure. Also on that list, 39 stops as well. So once again, grade the signing of Nick Bosa. If you're watching the show live, we're about to take all of your questions on this front, A, B, C, D, or F. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you stay in the know with all of the moves that the Niners make. Couple of super chats to catch up on. Appreciate all the donations that are coming in. Once we get to $150 in super chats, we are 12 away. Then Trizzy Trace is going to do a beer bong. Once we get to 200, I'm shotgunning another beer. I have the shotgun tool ready to rock right here. We have 1 shotgun down. Let's continue to party. 911 Express. Bang! Bang! Niner gang. Shout out Mitchell. I know he doesn't like that, but we love it here on the 49ers Report. Appreciate that $2. Wanye West. Thanks for the consistency, guys. How do you think the salary cap situation affects Ayuk's potential extension next offseason? I think it gets impacted for sure. And as I said, you're going to have to get creative with the cap. You're going to have to get creative with some of these salary cap gymnastics. You're going to have to restructure contracts. You might have to trade a player who's currently under contract right now and in the future to free up some of that money. But again, I think it's really, really important for the Niners here to keep their young core pieces intact. And as Trent Williams gets older and George Kittle gets a little bit older, you have to replenish the cupboard to a certain degree. You're doing that by maintaining Nick Bosa on your roster. Do it with Brandon Ayuk. You've done it with Deebo Samuel. Keep these young players in-house. And if they win a Super Bowl this year, then those financial decisions, they do become a little bit easier. Mark Smith with the $20 super chat. He deserves every dollar of the $34 million per year, and we don't have to worry. He will perform. This is a guy who takes care of himself. This is a guy who loves the craft. This is a guy who Mike McDaniel said when he would see him in the facility sometimes, he'd walk up to a water jug and hit the water jug with a swim move. Like, that's how Nick Bosa thinks. This guy is always pouring everything into becoming a better football player. And yes, I agree. He deserves the $34 million. You're always worth what somebody is willing to pay you. Adam with the 5. With this signing, is this Super Bowl or bust? Many personnel changes next year, in my opinion. As I said, some personnel changes definitely could take place. It's Super Bowl or bust either way. Like, at some point, you knew that Bosa was going to get signed. I highly doubted that it was going to be a season-long holdout, right? The guy loves the game too much, and the Niners understand his value too much to not give him a deal at some point. But when you have a very expensive roster that's becoming a little bit more top-heavy, and you have a quarterback on his rookie contract, which you have to maximize on right now, yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust. But even before Nick Bosa signed this deal, it was pretty much Super Bowl or bust. Sugar Shane, our guy tuned in from Alaska. Back to the fence. Bosa worth every penny. Yeah, Nick Bosa and his agent knocked this out of the park, took it to the fence, and went yard. Sugar Shane, thanks for watching the show. Daniel Johnson with the $5 super chat coming in. The quest for 7 begins in 2024. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Let's take care of the quest for 6 first. You start off with the quest for 6, and then you worry about the quest for 7, because San Francisco has not won a Super Bowl since the late 1990s. You got to get number 6 first. John Wallace with the $5 super chat. We won't have to get rid of Juice and Kittle. That is optimistic thinking, and I hope that you're right. Now, if you move on from Kyle Juszczyk, he's the best fullback in the game. But if you need to free up some money by moving on from a fullback, you should also be excited by what Jack Coletto brought this team in the preseason as well as in training camp. The rookie UDFA out of Oregon State can play. We saw it when he caught that ball in the flat from Sam Darnold, some of that speed to get to the edge, some pass blocking stuff. When I look back at some of the film, he was a much better pass blocker than a guy like Ty Davis Price. So if you have to move on from a guy like Juice, he is expendable because he's a fullback. George Kittle obviously impacts you, but you drafted 2 tight ends for a reason. And I think that reason is that you're starting to plan ahead a little bit by taking Braden Willis and Cam Latu. ABQ Freedom, $2 super chat. Guys yelling for a trade looking foolish. Bang, bang. Yeah, look, you just don't trade a player of this ilk. And you hit on a draft pick in Bosa back in 2019, and he's become everything that you've wanted, and he's probably honestly exceeded expectations. Like, when you draft him that high and he gives you 10 sacks per year, you're probably pretty happy with that production. When he gives you 9 as a rookie for a team that goes to the Super Bowl, 15.5 in year 3 coming off a torn ACL, and then 18.5 last year, that is excellent production. We're talking historic production. And we were talking with a month to go in the regular season about Bosa beating out Michael Strahan for the most sacks in the history of the NFL. He slowed down a little bit that final month, but that's why it was important to bring in a guy like Javon Hargrave to, give him some help so that he doesn't have to have all that pressure on his shoulders and have to take on all those double teams. Because now with Bosa on the field, Javon Hargrave can eat. Eric Armstead can eat. Drake Jackson, he can get after it. And it's hard to just double team one of those players because that means one guy is probably going to win that one-on-one matchup. G-Code is back with the $2 super chat. What caused Jed to lose more hair, the holdout or the number 97 news? Yeah, he's lost some hair over the years. I never want to rip on anybody because I don't want that bad karma to come back to me because I'm very happy with the head of hair that I have. But I imagine running a business like this, yeah, it can get pretty damn stressful. We're $3 away from $150 in super chats. Once we get there, Trizzy Trace is doing a beer bong. And once we get to 150, that means that we're 50 away from me doing another shotgun live on the 49ers Report. If you want to be a part of the show here, we want to take your questions on Bosa. Use the hashtag 49ers or a super chat to literally ask us anything. Did you say that the highlight cut was done, by the way? Cool. Awesome. Hashtag 49ers or a super chat to ask us anything. Start getting your questions in right now. Even easier for you. You want to be a part of the show? Send in a super chat. Every super chat that gets sent in gets featured on the 49ers Report. That's what we're doing here. So hashtag 49ers or super chat to literally ask us anything. And we'll do a mailbag where the faithful reacts to Nick Bosa's historic and record-setting contract extension. Deshaun is in the chat. Jamie Patrick is in the chat. Get those questions in now. We'll start reacting to all those. As we already did our one segment, and our coverage of this Nick Bosa contract extension does continue. We're up to $147 in super chats. As we said, we get to 150, Trizzy Trace beer bong. 200, I'm doing a shotgun here on the show. Jamie Patrick asking about George Pickens, very good wide receiver. He's going to be very difficult to defend for San Francisco come week one. That's definitely a little bit of a concern that I do have. Michelle H. calling it, saying Trizzy Trace is back. The people always love Trizzy, and they miss Trizzy. P!
Guess who's back?
With the $5 super chat. Our prayer worked. We're at 157 in supers. Can we get to 200? Once we get there, I'm taking down a celebratory shotgun as Bosa to the Niners get in the bag.
Do you want this beer bong now or after the mailbag?
Let's do it now, man.
All right, I'll grab it.
Yeah, Trace is going to go get his beer bong right now. In the meantime, if you have any questions for me, just get them into the comment section here, and I'll answer anything that y'all have. Chris Asorno saying our offensive line is okay. No way. For what? Oh, wow. That's hilarious. Wow. Black Mask. Celebrate the good times. Come on. We're about to do that, Black Mask. Trizzy's bringing on the beer bong, and like I said, we're at 157. We get to 200. I'm doing the beer shotgun here on the show. Bosa and Hargrave to dominate the Octo Box from Fletch. I can't wait to see Bosa and Hargrave on the field together. That is going to be a combination and a pairing that I called it at the time. Like, I was very excited about. When you have a nose tackle, defensive tackle who can rush the passer like Hargrave can, it takes away Nick Bosa getting double teamed. And then if you want to double team Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, with that power, with that burst, with his moves that he has on the interior of the defensive line, he can win a lot of those one-on-one matchups. Jose Romero, Bosa beast up. Big Hurt coming in with the 10. Steve Peterson coming in with the 20. We'll get to those super chats here in a bit. Trace, come on and do that damn beer bong, brother. 700 people watching live. Make sure you subscribe to the show for year-round Niners coverage. And I told you time and time again, when Bosa signed this deal, we were going live on the San Francisco 49ers Report. We went live like 30 minutes after that tweet from Schefter came out. So here's the homie Triz.
Let's go!
He's back. A lot of people excited to see Trizzy. Nice shirt, Chase, from Kovev. Thank you, man. True Classic. TrueClassic.com/chat. You get 25% off your order. The average Niner fan, $30 almost at the same time. Damn, we're at 187, 200. I'll shotgun a beer, then we're doing our mailbag. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's go, Trizzy. It'll be cold. Sugar Shane with the 5. We're at 192. Like it ain't nothing.
It's so cold.
Like it ain't nothing.
Good.
8 away from 200. I'm going to start prepping the shotgun right now. I'm prepping the shotgun right now because I know it's coming in any moment now. Let's go San Francisco. We're about to take your questions here. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to get featured here on the show. And we're 8 away from a shotgun. I'm just cracking this right now because I know that 10 is coming in any moment now from anybody out there. Kenneth Barrett, with Hargrave coming to the Niners, what do you think he has in store for his former team? What's his status going to look like at the end of the game? So, Kenneth, you're talking about Hargrave going up against the Eagles. He obviously knows that offensive line really well. They duked it out in practice time and time again, and maybe he can give some insight to the Niners coaching staff about what the Eagles do well. Most importantly, though, what I think the big takeaway is with Hargrave is just the impact that he has on that defensive line. Against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, I thought the Niners front got pushed around. I thought that they really struggled, and I thought that they got bullied in the trenches. Hargrave's not going to allow that to happen. He had 11 sacks last year, and he's like 30-31, but he's kind of a late bloomer who's starting to round into form and enter his prime, and just taking away all those double teams that Nick Bosa had to face helps Bosa out. But I think it helps Eric Armstead out. I think it helps out Drake Jackson and Cleveland Ferrell. And by bringing in Nick Bosa here, you now have a more deep defensive line, which if you didn't have Bosa, I had concerns about that defensive line because the lack of depth was a little bit concerning. But now you have Drake Jackson and Cleveland Ferrell as the other edge. You have Alex Barrett, Kerry Hyder Jr. Now you have Javon Kinlaw as that backup defensive tackle. And I think that the Niners up front, they have some good things working along the trenches there. All right, 8 away from 200 in Super Chats. Who's going to be the one that gets us over? And then we'll start taking your questions for our upcoming mailbag here. Big Hurt, hell effing yeah, baby. Let's go. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Big Hurt, member of the Gold Mine Hall of Fame. Steve Peterson with the 20. Grew up a Hawkeyes fan, so naturally I hate Purdy, but part of the gang now, so I love him. I don't know what to think other than let the fun begin. Hey, let the fun begin, and I think Iowa State are meeting up this weekend, correct? I think that is going to be a matchup. I think former President Donald Trump is actually going to be at that game, but I can see why an Iowa fan hates Brock Purdy, but also at the same time, you have to respect Brock Purdy with what he did for Iowa State, making that program more relevant than ever in the history of that program. Sugar Shane with the 5. I feel Trent retires if we win the Super Bowl. Free money? It frees up money. Thoughts? Yeah, like Trent Williams, I think at this point is year to year in his NFL career. He kind of flirted with retirement after this year. He gave a non-guarantee that he was going to be back. Now, that lasted like 2 weeks because 2 weeks later, it's like, yeah, I'll be back. But when you play so deep into the season, and the Niners have now done this 3 times in the last 4 years, and you're older, and you're playing left tackle where you're contacting an defender every single play, and you're a big body like that, yeah, it's tough to hold up for a long time. But if he retires, that does free up a lot of money for San Francisco. Tom Daly gets us over $200 in Super Chats. No more drama. Let's settle in and focus on the year ahead for San Francisco. Yeah, that's one of the big points that I made a little bit earlier. Eliminate the drama, get rid of the distractions, get the deal done, and focus on what matters. That's winning ball games, and that's trying to compete and win a Super Bowl. Devin Morales with the 5, and Devin is a first-time Super Chatter. Which phrase of the game do you believe is going to have the biggest impact on the outcome? I imagine you're talking about this Steelers game. I think the offense has to be consistent. I think the offense has to finish drives when inside the 20. I think that the Niners' run defense is going to have to show up because last year that was a problem, and in the preseason it was a problem. And even Kyle Shanahan said, and he admitted, I'm a little bit concerned about this run defense. So those are the areas that I'm kind of looking at. But Devin, we have to focus in on the kicker as well, right? Jake Moody is a huge question mark going into this game. If he does play, he was rocky and shaky mentally and physically in the preseason. If this game comes down to a field goal and Jake Moody misses, oh, Lord, there's going to be a lot of drama for the Niners, and that drama will return after we thought that drama was going to go into the trash can. All right, we're past 200 in Super Chats. We're about to take your questions. Nick Bosa, he's going to be a Niner for a really long time. Let's go.
Chug, 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 chug. Nice.
Let's get it. We'll hang out for a Niners Report happy hour after this mailbag as well, so continue to hang out with us. We'll have a lot of fun here. It's a celebration for many reasons. All right, hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to ask us anything. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Hopefully after today's work, with all of this coverage, we're going to be looking at 85,000 subscribers here on the channel, and what that could mean is that we're 15,000 away from getting the plaque from YouTube. And once we get to 100,000, YouTube sends us that silver plaque. Yeah, we're celebrating here.
We're going to go
on the show.
Stupid.
How many people are in here from Black Mask? We were up to almost 900, now down to 622. So everybody who's still here, still a real one, Black Mask.
Everyone who's excited for the Nick Bosa extension, the contract sign, type 49. Let's get the comment section back
49?
up. Whoever types it the most is the comment section MVP. I'm going to get it started here. Ready, set, go.
Type 49 if you're pumped.
Be faster than us. Be faster.
Be faster than us. Be
Come on.
faster than us.
Come
Steve
on.
Peterson, Tom Daly, Kovev, Ernesto, Black Mask, Russell, Carlos, Felipe, Jermaine, Byron, Big Hurt, Dave D, P, Russell, Steve, Ernesto, Philip, Derek, Carlos, Joe Caterly, what's good, brother? Andrew, Vincent, Mike, Jeremy, Brandon, Derek, Dave D, Bobby, Johnny Royal, Greg Smith, my goodness, Mike, ABQ, Byron, Mick D, Lurk, let's go. We're also at 591 likes, 9 more away from 600, so continue to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Once we get to 600, we're taking your questions and your Super Chats live right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Dave Zobel, Mike. All right, we're past 600 likes. Trizzy, let's do this mailbag. This will be BetUS, FYI. So you can use those game one odds, and we'll be good to go. Get those questions in. Hashtag 49ers, better yet, Super Chat to get featured here on the show. J Dove, yep. Dave Zobel, typing those 4 9s. All right, mailbag coming up. Super Chat, hashtag 49ers to get those questions asked, and the faithful about to react to the Nick Bosa contract extension. Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, the faithful reacts to Nick Bosa signing the largest contract in the history of the NFL for a non-quarterback. $34 million per year on this new 5-year deal. The fans are excited. Some have some concerns. So let's open up the floor and take all of your questions here. Adam with this one, $5 Super Chat coming in. With this signing, is this Super Bowl or bust? A lot of personnel changes next year, in my opinion. Even before the Nick Bosa contract extension, Adam, I thought that this was going to be Super Bowl or bust. When you have a team that's this loaded with premier players on both sides of the football that you're paying top dollar to, it's Super Bowl or bust. And at some point, I remained confident that a Nick Bosa contract was going to get done on our Tuesday live show. I even said, I think this deal gets done on Thursday. It gets done on Wednesday. But yes, now that Bosa is officially signed and you know that you're going to have him, it is Super Bowl or bust, because you can't afford to pay all these players this much money, that much longer. And we all know that this Super Bowl window for the Niners has about, with this core, 2-3 years left before you kind of have to replenish a little bit and restack the cupboard. Mark Smith up next with the $20 Super Chat. Nick Bosa deserves every dollar of the $34 million per year that he's getting, and we don't have to worry, he will perform. Who's to say that Nick Bosa is not going to perform? I think the Bosa is going to continue to perform. because the track record for him in 3 of the 4 seasons that he's been in the NFL, he's been a steady contributor. He comes into the league in 2019. He has 9 sacks for a team that makes it to the Super Bowl. Tears his ACL year 2, comes back in year 3, 15.5 sacks. And then last year, Defensive Player of the Year, 18.5 sacks on just over 500 pass rush snaps. You know, he had 90-plus quarterback hurries. So all he's done is get after the quarterback, be a disruptor toward the opposing offense, and be a fantastic player. And if he stays healthy, he's going to continue to do that. Why I'm confident that this deal can work is that Bosa cares about his craft. He loves the game of football. He's always in tip-top shape, and you can tell he's always looking to get better. And those are the types of athletes that you want to pay and make big investments to. And San Francisco loves him as well. This is the guy that addresses the team every Saturday before a Sunday game. So he's a team captain. He's a leader of this organization. And this is a guy who sets the example for everybody else in this locker room. So he's earned it. There's no doubt about that. And you're always worth what somebody is willing to pay you. Jody Crossman with the $10 donation here. Yay, Bosa Town. My son turned me on to your show, and we watch the content daily. I'm on my way to super fandom. Jody, as well as your son, thank you so much for watching the show. As I like to say a lot, we're not worthy, but we appreciate that so much, and I'm glad for you. It allows you and your son to come together because my job here on the show, provide content and coverage that's insightful, informative, and entertaining. But what I've also loved about sports, and I learned this at a young age, is that sports bring people together, regardless of their background, religious beliefs, sexual preference, color of your skin, anything. Sports bring people together because when you're at a game and the Niners score, you're high-fiving everybody around you. When you're watching a show like this with your son, y'all are coming together, so I do appreciate that support. I also appreciate all of you who show love to the program by subscribing. And I push subscribers a lot because you get more subscribers, more eyeballs, more views. The channel becomes more successful. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 84,000 plus right now. If you want Niner shows every day like Jody and her son, hit that sub button right now. Steve Peterson with another 10. With both healthy, who is more important to the flexibility of the offense this year? Is it Deebo Samuel or Christian McCaffrey? That is a fantastic question. I always think that running backs are expendable, and I think that running backs are replaceable. Now, in saying that, the whole outlook of the 49ers offense changed last year after the trade of Christian McCaffrey, because once he started, in the 11 games remaining, the Niners averaged more than 30 points per game. And as a runner who can run in between the tackles, has the speed and elusivity to get out to the edge, but also catch the ball out of the backfield and out of the slot, he's an extremely special player. And I said this in the lead up to McCaffrey getting traded to the Niners when we talked about it because we kind of predicted it, and we talked about the Niners being in the running for him. And I talked about this with Deebo. Don't look at those players as strictly what their position says they are, wide receiver and running back. Look at them as overall weapons, and that's what both of them are. I think that CMC might be more impactful and more important to the team. I think that you can get away without Deebo because Brandon Ayuk is so special. Mike D, 49, pretty healthy. No more Lance distraction. Deebo in the best shape of his life. Brandon Ayuk is ascending to the next level. Bosa signed before the season starts. I'm glass half full, Chase, LFG. Mike D, I love the optimism there. And this deal gives the organization optimism. It gives good vibes in the locker room. And for this team, you get the best defensive player in the game on the field, ready to play for week 1. And you make good points with no more distractions. When you have distractions and drama, it's a black cloud that just kind of sits over your organization. And for great businesses out there, great sports organizations, what do you not deal with? You never have drama, right? Or at least very rarely do you have drama. It was the drama that broke up the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. It was the drama that broke up the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Phil Jackson Bulls. You never want drama when you're operating at high levels of success. And San Francisco has operated at high levels of success 3 NFC championship games over the last 4 years, and you get rid of the Lance distraction because it was a distraction. When people are talking about QB3 instead of QB1, that's a distraction. And Nick Bosa holding out for 44 days was a distraction. You get rid of both of them. ABQ Freedom. Could you go over the details of the contract again for those of us that came in a little bit late? Of course we can do that because we have the contractual details laid out and simplified for everybody. So the Bosa deal, it is a 5-year contract. Total money, $170 million. Average annual value, $34 million. Total guaranteed money at $122.5. You compare that with the Aaron Donald deal, and this is how those two deals compare. And this is how Bosa is able to take down Aaron Donald as the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the game. Bosa gets 5 years. Aaron Donald got 3. Bosa gets more guaranteed money, more total money, and he gets a higher average annual value. So ABQ Freedom, you ask for it, we provide. Thanks for chiming into the show here. Rage Red Light. Do you think that Purdy will perform the way that he did last year? He has an opportunity to, and this could go one of two ways. He could regress. He could struggle. But with Kyle Shanahan, I think that he does such a good job with his scheme and system of scheming guys open, giving Purdy easy reads, wide open windows to throw to, and then you look at the complementary pieces that are on this offense right now. This team's loaded. You have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. I like the backup running back situation with Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, Ty Davis Price. You have one of the best tight ends in the game in George Kittle. Deebo Samuel, one of the best overall weapons. Brandon Ayuk is an emerging wide receiver in this game. Offensive line could ruin things a little bit, but will defenses adjust? They very well could, but it's also up to Shanahan and Purdy to counter-adjust to the adjustments that other teams will make to the San Francisco 49ers. If you want to bet on NFL football this year, no better sportsbook to do it than with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/49bet. Promo code Niners125. What that means is you put $100 into your account, you get $125 back, $225 to game with. The average 49ers fan with this, will you be concerned if Trent Williams leaves the offensive line? If he leaves the offensive line or he gets hurt, that could spell disaster for San Francisco. That's the blind side for Brock Purdy. The backup left tackle is Jalen Moore, who really hasn't shown me anything going into year 3. He was a late-round pick out of Western Michigan, and he struggled mightily anytime he's seen regular season snaps, preseason snaps, or training camp snaps. And there is a massive drop-off going from Trent Williams to Jalen Moore. That's like going from, a high-level steakhouse to going to McDonald's. Like, you just can't compare the two because Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the game, and I was actually surprised that Jalen Moore made the roster. The real one, John Wallace. So what will the starting defensive line look like? Is Eric Armstead part of that starting defensive line? Yeah. So it's going to be Drake Jackson at one defensive end spot, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, those are the 2 defensive tackles, and then Nick Bosa as the other edge rusher. Cleveland Ferrell will be one of the backup defensive ends. Austin Bryant will be a backup defensive end. So too will Kerry Hyder Jr. And then as backups, obviously, that's headlined by Javon Kinlaw at defensive tackle. Ernesto, what's the situation with our kickers? So here's the deal with the kicker situation for San Francisco as of this recording on Wednesday. Jake Moody is progressing well, has a quad injury, and he's been able to ramp up his rehabilitation process, so that's good news. If he's okay, he will be the kicker Sunday in Pittsburgh against the Steelers week 1. If he's not ready to go, then Matthew Wright, who's on the practice squad right now, will get elevated from the practice squad, and on game day, he will be the Niners kicker. Why I like the move of bringing in Matthew Wright, he has experience kicking in Pittsburgh, 2 different stints with the Steelers. The average Niner fan with another one, what do you think about the Niners rating in Madden 24? So I'm not a video gamer, and I don't play fantasy football. It's been a while since I've done both, so I actually don't know what the Niners rating in Madden 24 is. you can inform me and you can let me know, because usually I'm the one who's giving you the information, the average 49ers fan. So let me know down in the chat. Another reminder, subscribe to the show. When breaking news happens, we provide you with coverage. When Nick Bosa signed, we went live. Also, we're very interactive. We chop it up with the faithful out there, and that's why we're doing this mailbag here. Grade the Niners signing of Nick Bosa as well. Let's get that comment section going. A, B, C, D, or F. I think it's an A deal because Nick Bosa is a great player. The NFL salary cap is going to continue to increase. So the $34 million right now, I think will get taken down by Micah Parsons at some point in the future. And it's a lofty contract for sure, but if Nick Bosa stays healthy, he's going to be able to continue to stay productive. 5 years, 170, 34 mil per year, 122.5 in guaranteed cash. J-Dub, with an in-shape Debo, plus Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, and Brock Purdy, we should be a nightmare for defenses from week one. Add in the savage defense, we're going places, Niner gang. When you canvass the landscape of the entire National Football League, J-Dub, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more talented team than the Niners. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles might be a little bit more talented, and I think that their depth is a little bit better than the Niners because San Francisco has struggled a little bit in the NFL draft. But as far as the Niners starters go, this team's loaded, and that's why they've made it to 3 NFC Championship games in 4 years. That's why they have some of the best Super Bowl odds across the NFL, not just in the NFC. And you're right, this offense has some studs. Debo's one of one. Christian McCaffrey's one of one. Brandon Ayuk is such a clean route runner with some incredible footwork. George Kittle had 7 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks last year, 11 total on the season. Jawan Jennings is a great third-down wide receiver out of the slot who makes clutch play after clutch play. And let's give Brock Purdy his flowers. Brock Purdy played very, very well last year considering the circumstances, and that's why the Niners have gone all in on him being this team's QB1. If we didn't answer your question during this mailbag, you can hit me up on social media. I'm on Twitter, @Chase_Senior. I'm on Instagram, @Chase_Senior as well. And let me know what you think of the show. Don't be a stranger. And if you just want to chop it up in general, just hit me up on social media. You need to see the social media pages down below. All right, awesome stuff on the live show today. Cherzy has stepped out. My boy Seeps is in the saddle right now.
What up, everybody?
Seeps, what do you think as an outsider of this Nick Bosa contract extension?
I think it was something that you just have to get done.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, from a Vikings perspective, I'm a little scared that now Jefferson's going to be saying, I want 34.1 average annual salary.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a good point. And Seeps, as he alluded to, he's a Vikings fan. And the Vikings and Jefferson, they wanted to come to a deal prior to week 1, right?
yeah, that was a report.
So this is year 4?
Yeah, entering year 4. So
And he has that 5th-year option still because he's a first-round pick.
First round, yeah.
So that contract extension probably wouldn't kick in for another, 2 to 3 years, right?
Yeah, you could wait. The Vikings have $43 million on next year's cap, so I wonder if they would try to load a lot into there. But I was a little disappointed Bosa got done before because I think he wants to be the highest paid non-QB in the league.
Man, Jefferson getting more than that.
It's
not hard to fathom, but it's a lot of money for
you
sure.
Give 35 to a receiver.
For a receiver.
I'm saying, I don't know.
See, that's what the NFL gets for being the boom business that it is, because the popularity of the NFL has allowed the salary cap to go up, which then means in turn value of players goes up. And Nick Bosa has reset the market, not just for quarterbacks too. He's reset the market for the entire NFL here. So it's fascinating stuff on all levels. Grade the signing of Bosa. We'll give you some shout outs here. And we've been live for a little while. At this point, we've been live for, a little over an hour. So this is what we'll do right now. If you want us to stay live, we're going to go Super Chat shot clock here. Super Chat shot clock. What that means, you send in a Super Chat within 2 minutes, we'll continue to stay live. If nobody sends in a Super Chat within 2 minutes, we'll sign off. But when you send in a Super Chat, we answer your questions, we answer your comments, we feature all Super Chat donations here on the show, and we also give some shout-outs to those of you in the chat as well. For instance, Johnny Royal, he grades the Bosa extension as a D. Niner Babe, A. John Wallace, A+. Dave Zobel said no Cousins in San Francisco. Hell no. By signing Nick Bosa, they probably can't even afford Kirk Cousins next year. Baby Cakes 420 is back. Blaze up, Chase. Baby Cakes, I know you're always on that blaze up train. Day Walker, A. The Average Niner Fan, A. Primal, A. Pascal, A. Dave in the Desert resets the Super Chat shot clock. So we're going to reset it back to 2 minutes here. Dave in the Desert, one of our real ones here. A lot of the XM gang is calling for Seattle to win the NFC West. Do you buy that, Chase? Oh, Sirius XM. So, Dave, it's not just the Sirius XM gang. I've seen a lot of national analysts also call for Seattle to win the NFC West. I don't think they're that good to beat a team in San Francisco who swept them with the trifecta sweep last year, beating them 3 times. I will say this. I think Seattle's going to be a really solid team. And I think that Seattle, once again, can win double digits. And I think that Seattle's a scary team because Pete Carroll, John Schneider, that front office, they've done a hell of a job of building up that roster. I just don't really believe in Geno Smith. Dreadhead David, my dog, sending in a 5. So we reset the clock once again.
What a name.
He said stay live. Dreadhead Seeps is just an absolute legend here. Always appreciate you for tuning into the show. He sent us pictures of him on game day ripping bongs. He's just a real one out there. Dave Zobel going with an A++. Resetting the Super Chat shot clock here.
Has it been a resounding like A from everybody?
A and B. A and B. Yeah. Some C's, some D's, some F's, but I'd say the majority has been A or B. Yeah. And for instance, our live poll, do you like the Nick Bosa deal of $34 million per year? 1,200 votes, 87% yes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty solid numbers right there.
It's just one of those things you just got to do it. You got to get the positive energy going into week 1 because if you had that rain cloud hanging over you, like just the locker room, I feel like everyone would be like, why are we not paying our best player?
No doubt. Losing Hope is in the chat. He said, Seepman.
Oh, Losing Hope's my guy.
Losing Hope. We appreciate you. We still owe the waxing of the mustache.
Yeah,
man.
we do.
We're going to have to do it at some point. Losing
point.
Hope just continued to remind us. Shit has gotten so crazy at Chat Sports. I was the 8th employee hired back in 2021. Now we're at 25. We expanded the office before last football season and built like 5 new studios. Seeps, thanks, bro. And now we just bought more office space. So now we've expanded again. So like it's like dizzying how crazy things get here sometimes, but we're keeping it moving. Couple more super chats to get to. I think we got to get caught up with Niner Babe. Niner Babe checks in at 1:30. That resets the shot clock once again. We're at 2:42. We get to $300 in super chats. I'm shotgunning another beer. We're going to continue to celebrate as long as y'all want us to celebrate here. Any truth to the Niners looking at Robbie Gould again with the kicker situation? Niner Babe, I do not believe that there's any truth to that. Now, we covered that last week in a mailbag when somebody asked me, and that video actually got 50,000 views. So a lot of people are very interested in that subject matter. But I think if the Niners were to bring in Robbie Gould, it would be a long-term play. And right now, San Francisco is trying to give Jake Moody and instill confidence in him as a 3rd-round pick that he can be the guy. That's why he made the 53 despite his struggles. That's why he's going to be on the field week 1 if he's healthy enough. But insurance policy, Matthew Wright to the practice squad. So if Jake Moody doesn't work out, he loses the Niners some games, you got to move on, right? You just can't, in a Super Bowl contending season, have kicker problems. So then you look for a long-term kicker. You don't bring in Robbie Gould to breathe down Jake Moody's neck because kicking is such a mental game. So you see if Jake Moody can get it done as a 3rd-round pick. If he can't, then you look for that long-term option. And that long-term option could be a guy like Robbie Gould. So right now, Niner Babe, no truth. Down the road, could be some truth to it. Dreadhead David 420, because Robbie Gould also said he wants to continue to kick. Dreadhead David 420 with another one. Bang, bong, all love. Hey, right on cue, brother. Right on cue. So we're at 247. Once we get to 300, I'm shotgunning another beer. 247 in supers. Once we get to 300, if we get there, I'm shotgunning another beer. Resetting the super chat shot clock here to 2 minutes. You want to extend the show? Send in a super chat, and we'll reset the clock like Big Bo just did right now. Big Bo. Big Bo. Big Bo. What's Bosa's deal do for future Niner deals? To be determined. Now, it definitely makes you cash-strapped a little bit. Big Bo, it's hard to say right now because I'm not sure what the structure of the contract is. What it could be, and Trace, if we could pop up the Nick Bosa contract again, because this is important for the context. So, with a lot of these deals, you obviously look at the guaranteed money. You don't always look at the 170, which is the total money here. The total money is if Bosa plays all 5 years for this contract. If he were to get hurt, upon signing this deal, putting pen to paper, he is guaranteed $122.5 million. His average annual salary comes out to $34 million, but you can structure this contract so that it's backloaded. For instance, this year, he's on the books for 17.8. You can structure this contract so that the first 2 years after this, 2024 and 2025, are low cap hits. And then you backload the deal. And what that allows you to do this year, next year, 2025, you're able to still maintain some of the expensive players on this roster without having to make some really difficult decisions as far as cuts. Now, if it's front-loaded, you might have to make some moves in which you free up a little bit of money. But there are always financial gymnastics at play. There are always financial gymnastics that can be taken and measures that can be taken to free up some money with some contract restructures, trades, all that type of stuff. So those types of things are realistic, and they're done by front offices all the time. As far as in the future, yeah, like it could impact a Brandon Ayuk contract extension. By signing Nick Bosa, you might lose Ayuk. Or if you want to keep Ayuk, you might have to trade George Kittle. You might have to cut a Kyle Juszczyk. You might have to move off of an Eric Armstead. Very difficult because Fred Warner is in his mid-20s and still balling, but at some point you might have to look to move on from a Fred Warner. And the Niners have kind of planned for this. Like at tight end, they drafted Cam Latu, not off to a good start, as well as Braden Willis. At linebacker, they hit, in my opinion, as of right now, on D Winters, as well as Jalen Graham. So you always have to kind of look ahead here. And that's what good businesses do, and that's what San Francisco's done at some of these marquee positions. Now, offensive line need to get better, but if Trent Williams walks away from the game, that frees up some money. Then you, of course, have to find a left tackle. John Wallace with the $10 super chat. Hang out before the season is out. I'm going to get in that $100 bill. Johnny Wallace, love to the faithful. Hey, J-Dub, you're already a member of the Goldmine Hall of Fame, but once you send in that $100, you'll officially be on the Goldmine Hall of Fame, for sure. So we appreciate you, my guy. We're at 260 in Super Chats. I told y'all, once we get to 300, I'm shotgunning another beer. If you want to extend the show like John Wallace did, the Super Chat shot clock is back on, and we're going to reset it to 2 minutes here. You send in a super within 2 minutes, we stay alive. If not, we sign off, and we call it a day.
We can't be done. We just simply can't be done.
Dude, do you have a black MacBook?
Navy.
That is fresh.
Dude, it's sick.
I like that.
Shout out Brad.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Navy MacBook.
It's pretty nice.
I've never seen one of those.
I haven't either.
That's dope, though.
Thanks.
So hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to keep the show moving. And in the meantime, just ask me whatever the hell you want down in the comments section, and we'll react to it all here.
Greg Smith has asked.
Greg Smith is always in the chat. Hi, Chase, Trizzy, Cam Latu, what do you think about his injury? Is he going to come back? Nick Bosa, I'm happy that the contract is complete. What do you think about it? A++. So Cam Latu is not going to be able to come back this year. Oh! We have two. Oh! 3 members of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. Lyle, 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 Next up, Gump, Wolf, Gump, Wolf, Gump, Wolf, Gump, Wolf. And lastly, Black Mask, Black Mask, Black Mask. Just like that, in the span of 10 seconds, $170 in Super Chats.
Chase.
We're up to $430.
Let's make a deal. Another 100 comes in, we hit the frickin' gong.
Let's do it. So we have a gong here.
A full-blown...
A gong. If another 100 comes in, we're hitting that piece to celebrate Nick Bosa signing with the San Francisco 49ers. It is a full-on, huge gong. It's not a bong like Dreadhead David. It's a gong. But we're up to 430 in Super. So I said, once we got past 300, I was shotgunning another beer, so don't mind if I do. GBR said, someone give me some money. You don't need money to support the show. You're watching right now. You're supporting. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. That's all you got to do. So, did we run through all those? Let's run through those right now.
We should probably say what they said.
Lyle, the legend, Niner gang, big dog is signed. Now time to go hunt for that 6 Lombardi. Facts, Lyle.
Let's go.
Facts.
Let's go, Lyle.
Gump Wolf, LFG, Bosa. Now, were Lyle and Gump Wolf hanging out? Were y'all watching the whole time? Or did you just hop into the show? Because our analysis was peak form. LFG, Bosa, Bosa, Bosa. And then Black Mask with the 100. Add John to the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. With what he has done in his life. This is on me, bro. Wow. What a legendary moment. Do you want to move over the Goldmine Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I got it.
And then we'll add Johnny Dubs to the list. So John Wallace has told us he's overcome homelessness, drug addiction, to be where he is right now, where he's supporting the show. And how about the gesture here by Black Mask to send in a $100 super chat on his behalf for Johnny Dubs to become a member of the Goldmine Hall of Fame? Black Mask is on it, yes. Yeah, he's on there. Yeah, he's on there. So everybody type J-Dub in the chat. Johnny Dubs, as well as BM. Let's go. Let's go. J-Dub and BM, type it into the chat to show them some love. Absolutely fantastic. You love to see it. All right, another shotty for getting past our number. Black Mask, you're a real one. Black Mask, where do you live, by the way? If I'm ever in town, we're drinking some whiskey and we're smoking a cigar for show.
Chug, 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 chug. Nice.
Greg Smith, Lurk McCall, J-Dub, and BM. Good shit right there. All right, all members of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. A couple of these people have sent in super chats today. I know Gump Wolf has been in the chat, sent in that super. Black Mask, Big Hurt. We had Danny Smith Mathis a little bit earlier, Lyle. But all these people, Gump Wolf, Double B Studio, everybody on the screen, members of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. And then some of our newest additions over the last week or two. Olive Oil, Night Shift Garage, Mike Orduna, Zico Jones, Ray Rogers, Parrish Smith, and Johnny Dubs Wallace, the newest member of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. What this means is, for those of you unfamiliar, if anybody out there sends in a $100 super chat all year, we started this week 1 of the preseason, and we're going to carry it all throughout the season as long as the Niners are playing. You send in a $100 donation with the single solo super chat, you become an exclusive member of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. That's what that means. LG, hey Chase, have you ever alcoholically puked? Of course I've puked before in my life, but I am blessed to say that I haven't puked in a really long time, and I'm able to hold my drinks, luckily. To be a lightweight must suck. To have to pull the trigger earlier must suck, because who likes to throw up? So I can kind of take tank down some beers, luckily, while maintaining my health. You know, I'm on I had a running streak of 300-plus days, and now I'm at, let's see, on Sunday, it'll be 114. So all about taking care of yourself, but also living it up in the process. Get on the show. Hashtag 49ers or Super Chat to be a part of the program here. Ronnie Steele, how do you guys feel about the new offensive coordinator in comparison to our last two great coordinators? So you talk about the last two coordinators. By the way, I'm going to reset the Super Chat shot clock to 2 minutes. If you want to extend the show, send in a Super Chat within 2 minutes. We're at 430 in Super Chats. Let's continue to go and party. Man, he gets a lot of criticism. Gets a lot of heat, right? But Kyle Shanahan also deserves credit for hiring Robert Saleh, hiring DeMeco Ryans, hiring Mike McDaniel, all of them becoming head coaches. And then this front office also deserves credit for developing a lot of general managers. So that is part of being an elite coach in this league, and that's a part of the developmental process, not just with players, where your organization is widely respected. And the last 3 years, when you look at players who have been claimed on the waiver wire, guys who haven't made the 53 by other teams, San Francisco is top 5 on that list. So they have consistently developed front office talent, coaching talent, player talent. If Kyle Shanahan wins a ring, he immediately becomes one of the more influential coaches in the history of the NFL, in my opinion, because all 32 teams, I guess all 31 outside of the Niners, use elements of his offense within their own scheme. So if he wins that ring, my goodness, you're talking about an all-time very elite coach. And keep in mind, Andy Reid spent 14 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. No Super Bowl championships. He made it to 5 NFC title games and only 1 Super Bowl during that stretch. And then it took him a few years until they won a Super Bowl in Kansas City. And unfortunately, it was the first one, came against San Francisco in the 2019 season. So sometimes it takes a while. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl. To answer that question as well, Steve Wilks, very, very good defensive coordinator. Very widely respected, very good defensive scheme. Think he might be a little bit more proactive as far as sending in blitz packages, which I do like given the makeup of this team. All right. If no Super Chats come in the next 20 seconds, we're signing off. And I don't want to sign off yet.
Keep us live.
Keep us live.
Keep us live.
All it takes is one Super Chat. Who's going to do it? 20-second delay here. Who's going to keep us live? Pascal, you guys should open every video at the Goldmine Hall of Fame. Pascal, I like that idea. But sometimes I have people chirping at me in the comment section saying, Chase, you're always asking for subscribers. Why? It's like, well, that's how you build a channel. Then you draw more eyeballs, you draw more views, and that's how the channel becomes successful. And it's like a 30-second plug. If we were to do that, I think a lot of people would be like, enough of the Goldmine Hall of Fame. I'm your puppy Chulo with the 5. Keeps us live. Tom Daly with the 2. Let's go. We'll show those Super Chats on screen here. And in the meantime, ask me any questions in the chat. We're reacting to Nick Bosa's contract extension. I'm your Papi Chulo. I think it was the first-time Super Chatter the other day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we appreciate you. And then Tom Daly with the number 200. We're at 436. Let's make a deal. We get the 500. Trace Beer Bong. And we're hitting the gong if we get the 500. Tony DeWesty. Did I get that right? Tony DeWesty. Hopefully one of those 2 times I got it right. Is a first time Super Chatter. 2 claps here for Tony. And 2 claps for all of the first time Super Chatters today. Let's go. So as I said, we get the $500 in Super Chats. We're going to hit the gong. Trizzy Beer Bong. And if somebody sends in a Super Chat to get us over 500 and you say shotgun, I'll answer the call. Some people are saying audio issue.
Yeah, it was like
Staticky?
kind of staticky for a minute, but we're good now.
We good?
It was being weird, but we're good now.
We good? Give me a thumbs up.
Average Niners fan, we checked it out. That's what I was doing behind the scenes.
Pascal, what was the Bosa sack bet? Did you say he'd beat the all-time record? Kovev giving us a thumbs up. Appreciate that, brother.
Guys, y'all got to see this gong.
Yeah, we want to show you the gong.
We want to show you our gongs.
I want to show you my gong.
I want to whip my gong out so bad on camera.
I want to show you my gong.
Niners fan, if the audio cuts out again, I'll super chat you $100.
Ronnie Steele is a first time super chatter. He's got the Superman profile picture. Nick Bosa, he's been playing like Superman the last 2 years.
He's built like Superman.
It's so good to come get my Niner fix watching you guys instead of the nonsense drama on sports channels that are anti-Niners. Fan since 93, LFG. Brother man, we're not worthy, brother, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much for that compliment. Hey, look, I used to work in local news. I used to work in news media. I used to work for traditional outlets on television. I came here to chat sports, and we're the voice of the fan. We're the voice of the fan better than anybody else out there. And on top of that, audience interaction, which is great, which is a part of being voice of the fan. But we put a lot of work into giving you a great product. Instant reactions, news, analysis, insight, teaching you about the game of football. So when we get super chats like that, we don't take it lightly. We honestly appreciate it so damn much. So damn much. So thank you, Ronnie Steele, for supporting the show. Fan since 93. You saw some good times in those 90s, bro. You saw some good times in those 90s, and you've seen some good times in the 2000s. Early 2000s were a little bit rough. Jeff Garcia, some good times. Harbaugh comes in, make it to the Super Bowl, a couple of NFC championship games, and now Kyle Shanahan with a lot of success. Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula, not good. Not good. David Corona, what up, Chase and Trizzy? Niners all day. Corona, did I see a text from you a little bit earlier? How about David Corona? He texts me earlier. He says, what up, bro? Nick Bosa signed a 5-year deal, $170 million. Let's go Niners all day, every day. You have a great day, Chase. David Corona. David Corona. Let's go. Sam Griswold said the audio is going in and out. Hold up. All right. Let me just make sure. We should be good. Sam Griswold said, I guess you need a $100 super chat for the audio to improve. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. David Corona, thanks for the text, homie. You're the man. All right, should we stay live? Do you want us to stay live? Type Y for yes, N for no.
We're
up to about 900 people watching live a little bit earlier, and now we're down to 300.
Keep us live.
That means that everybody who's still watching is a real one. Jim said yes, stay live. I'm your Papi Chulo said yes, stay live. Niner Babe, Tom Daly, Ernesto, Mr. Block Ice, the average Niner fan, Kovev, Pedro, James, Xavier is back. Should we stay live?
If we get a $5 super
What it
chat
do?
next
You the
minute.
man. Nah, bro. You're the man, cuz.
$5 in the next minute, we stay?
Yeah, $5 in the next minute.
That'll get us over $450.
That'll get us over $450, and we stay. $5 in the next minute.
Xavier says, Marshall,
Don't
go
stay.
home.
That's hilarious. He Chat Sports real one.
Chat Sports
he has
legend.
to watch the Raiders report to know that.
Go
Stay live
home,
for
Marshall.
Bosa from Antonio. Hey, $5 in the next minute. We'll
Come
stay
on.
live. That gets us over 450.
Keep us live.
And like I said, we get to 500, we're hitting the gong. And Trizzy's doing a beer bong. And if you send us over 500 with your super chat, and in that super chat you say, Chase, shotgun that damn beer, I'm shotgunning another beer.
Come on, keep us live. We don't want to work. We want to do this.
We don't want to work.
We want to hang out with the faithful.
45 seconds in.
Hey!
I'm your Papi Chulo. Let's go. Barnaby saying, good night, gentlemen. Dinner time. Salute, Barnaby. You're the man. I've watched the show for 3 years. That's the first time you've read my comment. I got a great feeling about 2023. No way, Antonio. I remember mentioning you in the comment section. I've seen your name in there.
We've seen you, Antonio.
Oh! Lyle! 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 Hit that gong like Bosa's gonna hit Kenny Pickett.
I'll set it up real quick.
Oh, we're gonna do it.
I'll set it up.
Trace is gonna set it up. Lyle the legend. Lyle the legend. If somebody sends in a super and says, Chase, shotgun that damn beer, I'll shotgun the beer for you. Yeah, we'll do. Lyle the legend. Lyle the legend. Setting us up to get past 500 with another 50. Hit that gong like Bosa's going to hit Kenny Pickett. Jim, we saw your super chat as well. All right, here we go. Lyle, hit that gong like Bosa is going to hit Kenny Pickett. I've never hit this before. This is usually a Raiders Report staple.
Hit the hell out of it.
Thanks for getting us past 500. Celebrating Nick Bosa coming back to the Bay. This is for Lyle. This is for the faithful. That's how Nick Bosa is going to hit Kenny Pickett on Sunday. Kovev, Gong Show. Lurk said, Chase, shotgun that damn beer. I'm your Papi Chulo. He told me to do it. I'll do it. Jim with the 5 as well. How will the Bosa contract affect the 2024 salary cap? Could we lose good players? Yeah, this has been a constant and consistent question among a lot of people out there. And what I said a little bit earlier is that sometimes it comes down to the structure of the contract. So the structure of the contract, Bosa this year, because the Niners exercised his 5th-year option, is going to make $17.8 million. That's already set in stone. He was guaranteed that money when the Niners exercised that 5th-year option. A lot of people don't realize it. He was under contract. That's why he was a holdout. Now, he signed that 5-year deal. It does pay him $34 million average annual value, but that doesn't mean that he's going to make $34 per year. It just means over the course of those 5 years, the average is $34 million per. What you could do, Jim, is you can backload that deal a little bit. And if you backload that deal, let's say that this year in 2023, 17.8. And then in 2024, 2025, the cap hit and the base salary is lower. And then the last 3 years is where that money kicks in. That still allows San Francisco to afford some of their marquee players in 2024 and in 2025. And then at that point, you're looking at some contracts coming off the books, or you might have to trade some players. But then you think about extending a Brandon Ayuk. You want to extend a Brandon Ayuk. You can backload his deal because next year he'll be playing on his 5th-year option, which isn't as much as Bosa because he was drafted a little bit later in the first round. So then you're able to kind of like reshuffle the cards on the deck and push things back to a certain degree. That's how these types of things work. You're going to have to, at some point, make some tough financial decisions. And that's why it's important to win a Super Bowl this year. Let's say you win a Super Bowl this year. Trent Williams retires. You free up some money there. You get rid of Christian McCaffrey because at running back, you're expendable, especially in this system, which is running back friendly. And then you extend like a Dre Greenlaw. You restructure a contract here and there. You can open up a lot of money. And I actually had a viewer reach out, and I'm going to try to find this photo here with what San Francisco can do to free up some cash, because it's actually sizable and very impactful what they'd be able to do. I'm just scrolling my Twitter here, trying to give you the best insight. Bad radio, I know, but let's take a look. Let's see. Where is it? I've had a lot of tweets blow up. All right, here it is. So shout out to Johnny, John C2529 on Twitter for sending this to me, but it was tweeted out by Jason Hurley. He said, if you extend Dre Greenlaw, Eric Armstead, and Charvarius Ward, you save $27.6 million. You restructure the contract of Deebo Samuel, you save over $15.8 million. That's over $43 million saved. If they don't do the extensions, they can still get the $40 million by redoing Trent Williams, George Kittle, plus Deebo. They won't lose anyone due to a Bosa deal. That has to make you very, very excited. So, Jim, long-winded answer, but that's what we want to do is inform the people out there. I'm your Papi Chulo with the 2. Chase, shotgun that damn beer. I'm going to do that. We had another 10 come in from Ronnie Steele, and after this shotgun, I'm going to have to use the bathroom. Otherwise, I am literally going to pee my pants. That'd be a fun story to tell, but I don't want to do that right now. So let's shotgun the beer. Shout out to Papi Chulo.
Chug, 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 chug. Nice.
And then Trace, you pop yourself on camera. We're at 520 in supers. Is the faithful going to rally around Trizzy? I'll be right back.
All right. Captain Triz is in the seat. Y'all know the game we like to do. Every $5 super chat that comes in, we like to do some shots. So let's run it up, and I bet if we get to 600, we can make Chase do another shotgun. Y'all, I think we could convince him. He's looking at me, and he's kind of nodding. He doesn't think they're going to happen, though. So let's prove him wrong. Let's get the soups moving. I want to see Chase have to shotgun another beer, to be completely honest. Black Mask, what's good, man? How you doing, fam? He's an Aints fan. I am, but I'm also a part of the faithful family. Chase's right-hand man, and I love talking to the faithful. Greg Smith, hi, Chase. I'm happy Nick Bosa. That was contract compete. What do you think about it? A+. He was a big fan. Greg Smith, Chase was very happy. How are you doing, Trizzy, from Average 49ers fan? I'm doing swell. Hope you're doing well as well. Come on. I'm trying to take some shots. I'm trying to take some drinks down. I got a ice-cold Happy Dad I'm trying to put down right now. So let's get this thing moving. Let's do some shots together. Let's drink together. Let's have some good fun. We could do it out of the Trizzy Cup. Out of the Trizzy Cup. We're putting him down in the Trizzy Cup. Xavier, I'm subscribed to the Saints Report, Who Dat Nation. Xavier, I see you in there. Thanks, my man. Gump Wolf! He wants to do some shots. Here you go. Cheers. Let's go. Antonio, I'll send $100 for 3 shots to Chase. Antonio, if you send $100, Chase will do 3, and I'll do 3. Deal? Deal. Both shotguns at the same time. We got to get to 600, or got to get to 600 or something. Got to get to 600 or something. Cheers to you, Gump Wolf. Cheers to you. I'll get the liquor here in a second. Chase has it. Hey, wait. Hey, Seeps. Seeps. No, he's not. Dude, he says he doesn't know how they got in his system. Check the statement, Graham. Check the statement. Hey, Seeps, can you bring me the fireball? Yeah. Hey, Jake Haener is innocent. The only thing he did wrong was hustle. Bet going on right now with the Niner fans and Trizzy. Hey, so Niner faithful, can we just get Bosa's in the chat? Can everyone type Bosa? You're a alcoholic drunk. LG, I wish I was drunk, man. That ought to help out. LG, the one talking about Bosa drinking a bunch earlier, he was like, you're an alcoholic drunk. And I was like, man, I wish I was drunk right now. I, took a shot, and I was like, that ought to help.
So it's fitting. He said he's the one who's like, hey, does Bosa drink alone? And then he's calling us an alcoholic?
I don't know if he's chirping or what, but LG, what's going on?
Hey, I ran 3 miles this morning. I'll be running again tomorrow. Let's get it. Drinking?
What am I doing? Yeah, probably. Honestly, probably.
Bosa. 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 By the way, as I was hitting the bathroom there, I did look at Instagram.
I got a little fetty on shorts.
Bosa posted this on Instagram with the caption,
Here.
Shall we?
Dude, show that again. Show it again. Show it again.
He said, shall we? Shall we? Shall we become the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL? LG, $5 super chat. Bosa chugs for everyone of alcoholism. LG, I think LG is just messing around. So I'm glad to hear that you're not serious.
He's a big joester.
Laura said, Trace, please read my last comment.
Let's see what you like. Trace, if the Niners beat the Steelers, we want the Steelers report to say LFG, please. I could talk to Jack Sperry and see if we can make that happen. I could see if we can make that happen. Just a good old-fashioned LFG Niners.
Hell yeah.
I think we can make that happen. LG, love you guys. We love you too, LG. We love you too, my man. If you guys want to keep talking Niners, if you want to keep talking ball, let us know.
Should we keep talking ball? How many sacks do you think Bosa will get from Killahunter Ray? So 15.5 2 years ago, 18.5 last year. Let's go 15-16 this year, which is still like insane production. Greg Smith throwing in some Justin Smith sack numbers. He was awesome. The Cowboy.
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
All right. We're going to throw up the 2-minute super chat shot clock once again.
2 minutes remaining.
Should we stay live? If so, send in the super chat. 2 minutes.
Keep us live.
Tom Daly, what about our offensive line? Trent Williams, Aaron Banks is a really good left side. A lot of people don't realize that Jake Brendel was very solid last year. I had a lot of concerns going into 2022 about what he was going to be able to bring to the table, but he was a Pro Bowl alternate. Right guard, right tackle, big question marks. Spencer Burford, take a leap. Take that year 1 to year 2 leap that Aaron Banks took. If that's the case, Niners are in a great spot. And then Colton McKivitz at right tackle, that is a little bit of a concern as well. So if the right side of that offensive line can hold up, they'll be all right. What's up, dude?
Steelers is live. I'm going to get a little super chat battle going.
Oh, we're definitely crushing them.
Let's see.
Johnny Dubs with the 5. Ronnie Steele.
We're crushing them.
With the 5. You want to do a little super chat battle?
I'm
cool with it.
I'll build it real quick.
LG with the 5. So John Wallace said, I've got to get the Bible study. Black Mass, God bless. Thank the Niners faithful. San Francisco. John Wallace, enjoy Bible study, brother. And yes, Black Mask put J-Dub on the Goldmine Hall of Fame. Ronnie Steele with the 5. Shotgun. Do you think that we sweep the Seahawks this year? I think they split. I think the Seahawks are a really quality team. It's going to be really difficult to sweep the Seahawks once again. Split. And you'll take a split. Considering that before last year, the Seahawks under Harbaugh and Shanahan had owned San Francisco. And then LG. How many sacks could Bosa get after drinking a whole bottle of vodka? It depends on which way you go.
Well, also,
do you not feel pain when you drink that whole bottle, or can you not walk straight?
And it also depends on the vodka.
Depends on the vodka.
You know, if you're going flavored, you might be a little more dehydrated.
Yeah.
So, Super Chat battle. We're crushing Steelers talk.
Crushing Steelers talk.
Let's crush them even harder. Let's 10x their numbers.
So last week we did 750 in Super Chats. And we crushed Steelers talk, actually. We beat them by about $200 in donations. And now we're crushing them once again. And look, I want to crush them week 1 on Sunday. And we will. I'm even thinking about going live an hour and a half before kickoff.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking about it. I'm intrigued by the idea. Especially now that Bosa's signed. Lurk McCall is a first time Super Chatter. How about Lurk McCall with the ice?
That's
He's
fresh.
got the ice on the chain rocking. My dog looking fresh, Lurk. 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 We'll reset the Super Chat shot clock here. Back to 2 minutes. We're up to 5:47. Tom Daly said we will crush the Steelers. Ted coming in from Black Mask. Just as long as we beat the She-Hawks on December 10th, I'm taking my son to the game.
Ooh.
He'll be out here to visit me. Black Mask, I asked you a little bit earlier, and then the comment section got a little bit crazy. Where do you live, Black Mask? Because, if I'm ever pulling up into town, we're smoking a cigar and drinking some whiskey. For sure. Hope that you have an awesome time with your son at that Seahawks game. That is absolutely fantastic. LG, I just added all my friends to this, and they all subscribe.
Heck
LG,
yeah.
the real G, and the OG. LG, OG. Hopefully your friends are enjoying us celebrating, us partying, but also let your friends know that the analysis that we provide here on the channel is also top-notch. We don't just party. It's not just about having a blast. It's about informing you, the audience. So we also do that here on the show. So for LG's homies, you can also expect that as well. Resetting the Super Chat shot clock again. Back to 2 minutes. We're at 5:57 now.
Come on.
5:57. LG, no, you guys post the best Niners content out there. LG, 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 LG. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother.
Black Mask hit you up on the IG. He said he's out in San Jose.
San Jose. Okay, cool. San Jose. Nice. Do you think the Niners from Killahunter will have a chance to beat the Eagles? And don't end the live, please. I think the Eagles are the better team. I think the Eagles have the edge with that game being in Philadelphia. I wish we could have seen what Brock Purdy could have done and what the Niners could have done if Brock Purdy were to stay healthy. Because a lot of people forget, that game was pretty close. Even with Josh Johnson and his quarterback, but he was so in over his skis, and he, frankly, sucked in that game. Pascal, only Niner channel I watch. I know there are a lot of great content options out there, so I do appreciate that. Look, it's me and Cone are the leaders. Grant obviously is able to be at the facility. His dad was a Bay Area sports writer. Lowell, both of them. Lowell did, Grant does, do a fantastic job. He's got the best Niners channel out there as far as audience and views. But we're number 2. If we want to judge it by metrics, views, subscribers, reach, we're right up there. It's 1 and 2, and it's honestly not close outside of that. So thanks to everybody who supports the show for sure. LG, who's the biggest threat to San Francisco in the NFC?
Eagles.
So my power rankings in the NFC right now, going into week 1. Eagles 1, Niners 2. I like the Lions at 3. And then after that, so for me, it's like Eagles, Niners, big step, big drop off. After that, it's like a combination of teams. It's the Lions, it's the Cowboys, it's the Seahawks, it's the Giants, It's the Vikings and it's the Packers. No particular order there with that drop-off after Philadelphia and San Francisco. That's kind of how I look at it. And from the midway point on last year in the regular season, I said, it's a two-team race in the NFC. And these two teams will clash in the NFC Championship game. I said Philadelphia, San Francisco. Top two teams. That's what ended up happening. Look, I know we cover some rumors here. A lot of y'all get pissed off by that for some reason. We're right a lot here on the show. I was also off by only $10 million on this Nick Bosa contract extension, as Trizzy pointed out. So that's why he subbed. Trizzy, WTF, Chase gave you no love for your Aints.
Hey, they got a lot to prove. A lot of question marks. Dennis Allen's still early in his career, so I understand where he's coming from.
How did I not give you love? Oh, for not making the playoffs?
It was like a
so this is what I'll say. I think they're the best team in the NFC South. But I think that's a byproduct of the division being bad. But Black Mask, you probably called out me not including the Saints as a playoff team when they should be and will be if they win the division. But I don't think it's going to be because they're like a great team. I like the roster. I frankly am higher on the quarterback and Derek Carr than a lot of people are. I don't like the coaching staff. I don't like Dennis Allen.
I agree with you. As a Saints fan, the coaching staff is like the thing that'll slow the team
As
down.
a defensive coordinator, great. What he did against Tom Brady, incredible. They had Tom Brady's number better than any other team in the NFL. As a head coach, he's not a great head coach.
No,
that was proven with the Raiders. That was proven with
the
New Orleans Saints so far last year.
No, so, I totally agree with you on all that.
Falcons is their only threat. I actually think the Panthers could surprise some people. I like Frank Reich. I like Bryce Young. I think that their offensive coaching staff is good. Bringing in a guy like Josh McCown. You know, Brian Burns is an excellent edge rusher. So, Jim, David Lombardi smokes Grant. He has a great channel. I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Grant is very opinionated. And I like that about him. I think he's very unique with his analysis, and he does a tremendous job. And he's been able to establish a large following because his content is unique. He goes about it the way that he wants to go about it. And I think in today's media, that's how you win. David Lombardi, I've seen his YouTube stuff, does a great job. And he could probably be in the top 3 with Cohn, myself, Lombardi. Lombardi, my only issue with him is that he talks down to fans and he feels as though and goes about it as so is like he's a genius as compared to everybody else. And everybody else who doesn't agree with him is an idiot. And he's also kind of a mouthpiece for the organization. And I don't agree with that. When has he criticized the Niners? I've never really seen it. And I think that you have to be critical when an organization or a business makes mistakes. But yes, I've seen Lombardi's numbers. He's done a great job. For sure. Lisa Lee, 49ers coolest football team on earth. Lisa Lee. All right, this is what we'll do, facts, dude. This is what we'll do. P, I don't know if that's shots thrown. In today's society, it's oh, shots fired. It's just me being honest. I've been in this business for a long time. I've covered local news. I've covered local sports. I've covered college football. I've covered the NFL. I've done it all. And I'll sniff out bullshit. I'll sniff out real. That's just what I do. Here at Chat Sports, I'm in charge of some of our on-air appearances and content. I scout talent that we either hire or that we have here at Chat Sports. I watch other people's stuff. It's not shots fired. It's just me being real. That's really all it is. Black Mask, goddamn. If we want to win, sure, we are critical. You got to be critical, man. You can't just be over complimentary all the time and everything is positive every day because life doesn't work that way. Business does not work that way. At some point, you have to call people out for their BS. And you have to call people out for their mistakes. And you have to hold people in positions of power accountable. Shout out our government. Donate, stay alive from Kovev. Look, here's the deal. If we get to $600 in Super Chats, we'll just sign off and call it a day. We are 40 away from $600 in Super Chats. 5 from Parrish. That gets us 35 away. And Parrish, I like the profile picture here. Purdy looked at Bosa's contract and said, what? Non-QB? Purdy party. So Purdy's going to have to prove this year and over the next few that with the Niners going all in on him, that he can continue to be very solid, run this offense. But he's going to have to do more than that. He's going to have to prove that he could be a franchise caliber quarterback. I'm not sure if Brock Purdy is going to work himself to an area in which he gets paid more than Nick Bosa. $34 million is a lot. You know, Daniel Jones is making, what, $40 million per year? Brock Purdy, if he leads the Niners to a Super Bowl and plays really well and continues to progress and makes improvements, he's going to get there. And then the Niners face a very difficult scenario and situation. What I love about Purdy, as a quarterback, sometimes it's not about height. It's not about arm strength. It's not about velocity behind your throws. It's not about size. Can you dissect defenses? Can you make quick trigger throws? Can you be accurate? Do you have precision? Can you get rid of the ball quickly? Do you have pocket feel, pocket mobility? Do you have pocket awareness? If you display some of those things, clutch gene, sometimes that's more important to me than size. And in the NFL Scouting Combine, we fall in love with guys like Anthony Richardson because of his vertical leap and because of his long jump. The dude completed less than 60% of his passes last year. He threw 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. That could be because that coaching staff is garbage. Billy Napier looks to be maybe on his way out after getting dump trucked by Utah. But, you can't fall in love with just physical attributes. People did that. Raiders did that with Jamarcus Russell. With Brock Purdy, timing, anticipation, anticipatory throws, making plays out of structure, running the offense. Those things are important. So we'll see, Parrish Smith. $5 super chat right there. What that gets us to is $35 away from $600 in super chats. If we get to 600, we'll just sign off. And you know what? F it. We'll do another beer bong. We'll do another shotgun. We're at 565 right now. Can we get to 600? LG with another 5. LG is like our low-key $5 super chat MVP. He just keeps throwing in, peppering in some super chats from time to time. That gets us at 570. LG. I like this. Let's talk about it. You guys should make a 49ers pregame chat sports party tailgate. That would be epic, and everybody would roll up. So LG, you know what's cool? We do that digitally. In this era of digital media, we literally do that digitally. LG, I haven't seen you super chat during a watch party, but for instance, Sunday for our watch party, we will be going live an hour or an hour and a half before kickoff. We make it the tailgate for those people who can't go to the game, or if people are going to go to the game and they're tailgating, they can tune in. We're doing keg stands, we're doing shotguns, we're doing beer bongs, we're celebrating, we're partying, and we're getting ready for game day as if we're at the game, but it's the best place to be if you're not at the game.
It's absolutely bonkers.
So LG, tune in on Sunday, my guy. Tune in on Sunday.
LG, if you're not there Sunday, you're going to be missing out, I promise you. You don't want to miss out.
Black Mass said, shit, that's 9 a.m. for me. Great time for a mimosa, if you ask me.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, too. I was drinking a Bloody Mary in Charlotte this past weekend. Oh, love Bloody Marys. Dude.
I can't stand tomato sauce or tomato
that's
juice.
Why. We're not a big tomato office.
I'm not like tomatoes, and I can't do it. I try to like them, but I can't.
Kovev, he should be our chat moderator. 570, need $30. We need 30 to get to 600. Black Mask, spicy, a spicy Bloody Mary, fantastic. Throw some jalapenos on that piece. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lurk said, LOL mimosa? Are you hating on mimosas? Mimosas are awesome.
Mimosas rock.
Niner Babe still with us. She's been with us since the start of the stream. Real one right there. We just reached the 2-hour mark on the stream. Chase, would you guys ever broadcast from Levi's? That would be cool.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I would love to. To the previous one that we were answering from LG, what would be cool ideally is if we know that we have guaranteed internet connection to go live without any interruptions from the parking lot of Levi Stadium. We would throw the craziest tailgate that the Bay Area has ever seen. We'd be grilling, we'd be drinking, we'd be partying. I'd be on air the entire time. I would go live for 4 hours before kickoff if that's what we could do. Now, you can't go live for the game. Too many people in one location, you'll lose internet connection, and you can't show the game. But as a pregame show, that would be lit. And you know that I think about it now, Trace. Like, watch parties, we do them because they're such a great opportunity for channel growth, picking up subscribers and super chats, bringing in some money. What if our tailgate special went so crazy that served as everything the subscribers and the super chats picked up during a regular game, that we could just go to the game? That'd be sick.
My thought is if we do a pregame show tailgate style, we could still watch the game on TV from outside of Levi's. Do a watch party.
This is true. The only concern is the internet connection.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
And it's crazy how it's 2023 and internet hotspots are not reliable at all. Like, we can't do a stream in which it's like dying in and out. It just won't be successful. Yeah. But Black Mass did say, I will fucking be there. Niner Babe said, that would be so awesome. I do want to go to the Bay Area at some point. And Mitchell Wren's, host of the Raiders Report, has done watch parties from Las Vegas, like bars and stuff. That's been cool. If we could do that from the Bay Area, that would be sick. $10 ticket to attend the tailgate from Pascal. Yeah, there'd be opportunities there to get a little bit innovative. I'm going to the Dallas game at Levi's. That's going to be one of the most watched games on the NFL calendar this year. No doubt. We're at 575 in supers. Trace, what are you doing if we get to 600?
A beer bong.
Beer bong from Trizzy if we get to 600. We're at 575. Can we get there in the next 2 minutes? Can we get to 600 in the next 2 minutes? If that's the case, we'll sign off. We'll call it a day. Tom Daly said Levi's has some of the best Wi-Fi of any stadium. All right. Plenty of places here to do that, Chase. Niner Bay, appreciate you. Look like we have some trolls in the chat from Lyle. I haven't seen any trolls. Have you, Trace? We're 25 away from 600, and then we'll sign off and we'll call it a day.
Keep us live. Keep us live. Keep us live.
ABQ said he might make some Mexican street corn casserole. That sounds bomb. That sounds bomb. We're at 575, trying to get to 600 here. Here comes Mitch. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Infamous last
Raiders against Niners beer bong race.
Ooh, right. Beer bong race if we get to 600? All right, beer bong race if we get to 600. So Niners, Raiders.
Let's go.
Niners got dump trucked in the preseason by the Raiders. Can we get the dub with the beer bong race? We're at 584 now after Ronnie Steele sent in a 10. Could you guys tour every city, pick a location to broadcast from where fans can come and watch the game while you broadcast? Dude, I'm telling you right now, that would be a dream come true. That would be a dream come true. That would be sick. And that's something that I would document via a documentary.
See, Chase,
I would have a camera just with me at all times to be able to document.
See, I think it would be a lot of fun. We get in the Niner swag wagon, in the Bang Bang Niner wagon, if you will. We'll be going cross country.
You know what I would like to do too is drive to the location.
Yes.
Don't fly.
You go
just drive.
Cross-country. You stop. You see the world. You see people.
Hell
you
yeah.
meet the faithful.
Hell yeah.
You meet the frickin' faithful.
Arcane Force with the 5 said, let's do it. F the Raiders. We're 10 away.
Come
10
on.
away from 600. Technically 11
Technically
away
11.
with some sense in there. 11 away from 600. Adrian Avila is a first-time Super Chatter. 2 claps for every first-time Super Chatter. Shout out, Marshall. Thanks, Adrian. So now at the Bosa signing, what do you think is going to happen with all the players that need to get paid in the future, like Brandon Ayuk? Still an opportunity to pay Brandon Ayuk and compensate him. Now, the Niners exercise his 5th-year option, so next year is guaranteed. So you at least have 1 more year left for his deal. But like Nick Bosa held out, Brandon Ayuk could hold out. Like Debo held out, Brandon Ayuk could hold out. You have to restructure some contracts. You have to reshuffle some money. You might have to trade a George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, or cut one of those players to free up some money. If Trent Williams retires, that frees up some dough. Financial gymnastics will have to be taken. Those measures will have to be taken in order to free up some cash, but it is possible, Adrian. We are 6 away from 600, and then we'll do a Niners report versus Raiders report. Beer bong race here on the show. Who's going to get us there? Tom Daly, why did you retract your message, bro? Freedom of speech, homie. Just kidding. Greg Smith, how about the Krusty Show and hit the like button? Krusty Show? Are you talking about the Krug Show? I tuned into Larry Krueger. He's doing an awesome job. Black Mass gets us past 600. Here you go, bro. Appreciate you all. I jump on today after taking a client to lunch. Niner fan since 1979. Saw OJ play.
Nice.
OJ Simpson way back in the day. That's pretty awesome right there. Crux with another 10. Relief. No more quarterback controversy. And Bosa got paid. Now let's focus on winning football games. That was really my big takeaway that I talked about like 2 hours ago at this point. Get rid of the drama. Get rid of the distraction. Now there's nothing else you have to worry about except kicker, right? Kicker and winning games. But now that you have Nick Bosa, focus on winning a damn football game. That's really what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Murbanga race. I like it. Raiders report against the 49ers report. Now that we got past 600, I'm cool with this. Myself, my boy, Mitchell Renz. I didn't know we had 2 of these now. Nice.
All right, who you
Freedom
got?
Funnel too.
Who you got? Type C for Chase, M for Mitch. Who's going to win the race?
Pascal, come meet me down in Denver. I was born in Littleton, actually. Fun fact. All right.
Who you got? C or M? On go?
I don't think I've ever done one of these. Let's go. Really? Yeah, I've never done one of these. All
On
right,
go.
cheers. Appreciate y'all.
3, 2, 1, go. Wow, holy cow.
It's a good race. It's cold. My boy, appreciate you. Woo!
Another, if we get to 700.
Another 50, we'll do a rematch. Another 50, we'll do a rematch.
I want in on the next one. I want in on the
Trace
next
will come in and do a beer bong or your freedom funnel.
Or the funnel. I'll do the freedom funnel.
All right, another 50, we'll do a 3-way rematch. It has to come in within 2 minutes, though. We'll do a 3-way live on the 49ers report. A 50, or it could be 50 combined in the next 2 minutes. We're 25 seconds in. We'll do a 3-way race here. Those look like bedpans from Black Mask. Little Murbanga. What even is this? Is this like a flamingo? Oh, okay. So this is her head, and then this is her tail. How about it? All right. In 2 minutes, if we get 50 combined, we're doing a 3-way race. 1 minute left, starting now. Chase, there is a 50% chance of rain at the Steelers game. Lore, I was looking at the forecast the other day. I did not see that. I saw sunny. But in Pittsburgh, who the hell knows what the weather's going to be? Let me check again here, Lore. Shit, you're right. 50% chance. It was supposed to be sunny for that game. But Pittsburgh is a city that has weird-ass weather. 71% chance of showers from Harris. Yeah, I'm looking at the iPhone app. I know it's not great. 50%. The other day it was supposed to be sunny. All right. About 10 seconds left to get 50 more to do a three-way race. If not, we're signing off. We'll give you about a 20-second delay. So 10 seconds starting now. 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. There's 5. We're 45 away after Tom Daly sent in that 5. We'll give you about a 20, 30-second delay because a lot of people like to watch on delay. AQQ Sanic plays, it's a 69% chance of rain. Very nice. How much? Great success. Great success. 45 away. Lyle said, Tom, hey, show me the TDs for Tom Daly. Pascal, what's the word on George Kittle's status for Sunday? So the Niners just started their game prep today. George Kittle did not practice on Monday. Allie G coming back. Yeah, the real ones know. He did sprint on the side field, but it seems as though George Kittle always has like one soft tissue injury per year. I'm out. See you Sunday from Tom. Tom, show me the TDs for Tom Daly in the chat. And I think we're going to sign off here on the show. Awesome, awesome live show today. Reacting to Nick Bosa's contract extension. 2 hours and 12 minutes and counting. Parrish said, Kittle limited but good to go. Is that your prediction? Let's see. I'll give you the latest on Kittle here. Yeah, the Niners haven't had their Wednesday practice yet. Kittle is on the injury report. I have not seen any other updates. So we'll see, but we'll keep you updated here on the show. That is for sure. Lyle saying, great show as always. Appreciate you. As always, Lure, see you on Sunday. We'll be live on Sunday. Niners, Steelers, watch party. Going to be an absolute blast. Content every single day and multiple times per day. Up until that point, we put out YouTube videos. We go live. We put out YouTube shorts. Follow me on social media at Chase_Senior. Niner Babe, take care. Chase and Trizzy live tomorrow still. You know what? I'm not sure. I didn't think about that until now. Maybe. But Niner Babe, that's why you subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Therefore, when we do go live, you'll be notified. And the cool thing is, when we're a half hour out from going live, that's when you get that notification. And then once we go live, you get notified again. So hit that bell icon. Draco, our guy, said, all right, Chase. Draco. I got to get back to you on Instagram, man. I have been so damn busy, dude. My DMs are crazy. Not a sign of disrespect. I got love for you, homie. Appreciate you for watching the show. 2-hour live stream in the books here. Thanks to everybody for watching. Black Mask is off for a whiskey and a hot tub. Yes, sir. You good, brother. You know all love. Exactly. When I get to Las Vegas, we'll kick it too. Hit up that Bleezy. All right. For Trace, I'm Chase. 49ers Report. We out. Nick Bosa signing a historic contract extension. Thanks to everybody who watched, liked the video, subscribed, and, of course, sent in the super chat. We'll catch you next time. Peace.